All right, welcome to episode 8 of Cyberpunk Rewired. As we have done previously, a little bit of fact of the cyberpunk world. Among the playtesters for Cyberpunk 2013, it was Lisa Ponsmith and Walter John Williams. Now, Miss Ponsmith is the business manager of R. Tolsorian Games, as well as an excellent RPG writer. Among her contributions to cyberpunk lore are the Bozos, a gang of insane clowns who terrorize Night City. She's also the co-writer of The Witcher tabletop RPG. Walter John Williams is one of the founders of the cyberpunk genre thanks to his Hardwired series. That game was adapted by Mr. Williams and R. Telsorian Games into an official alternate setting for cyberpunk, with the Hardwired sourcebook for 2013. He's also the game designer in his own right, having created Privateers and Gentlemen, a swashbuckling Age of Sail roleplay game. As mentioned, this is episode 8 of Cyberpunk Rewired. In spooky season fashion, this is the beginning of the Halloween episode, so we do not have everyone here. For the next couple of episodes, we are with Max, we are with Nixie, and we are with McFly. Creed and Ivy will join us later in the episodes when their characters are in place. So let's get into the story. So the year is 2045, and Night City, a sprawling metropolis of neon and chrome, thrives amidst the pulse of technology and the undercurrent of crime. It's a city of contrast where the wealthy reside in towering corporate skyscrapers, with the downtrodden out living in the shadow of the megalithic structures. It's a city that never sleeps, driven by ambition, innovation, and dark secrets lurking beneath the glittering surface. In the heart of its urban jungle, Detective Maria Delaney steps out of the monorail, her arrival marked by the heavy thud of her boots against the rain-slicked pavement. She's no stranger to the grim underbelly of city life, having dedicated her career to law enforcement. But Night City is a different beast altogether. Maria has been transferred here from the sun-soaked streets of LA to the sprawling neon labyrinth of Night City. It's a transfer shrouded in mystery, tied to a case that's already garnered so much infamy in law enforcement so far. The case is that of the Reverend, a serial killer whose reign of terror has left each city paralyzed with fear. Maria stops into the precinct, her path illuminated by harsh fluorescent lights that cast long, stark shadows. Her arrival doesn't go unnoticed as whispers ripple through the detective's bullpen. The transfer of a seasoned detective from another city only means one thing. This is where they view the Revenant's next strike to be. Her reputation precedes her, a reputation that's built on relentless pursuit of justice, a razor-sharp intellect, and an uncanny ability to solve the most inscrutable cases. It's these qualities that brought her to Night City, a city where justice often sometimes as distant as the stars in its towering skyline. As Maria settles into her new surroundings, she's greeted by a mix of welcoming nods, guarded glances. The other detectives know that they need her expertise if this is actually where the Revenant strikes. It's a darkness that's already claimed too many lives and seems insurmountable. She's had the case file in her dossier, and it's filled with gruesome crime scene photos, cryptic messages, and the weight of the city's fears. The room is filled with hums of computers, the clattering of keyboards, and the constant buzz of a city that's on edge. She knows the key to solving this case lies somewhere within the streets of Night City, where technology and crime intertwine. As she opens the case file and starts to piece together chilling puzzle that is the Revenant, she knows that her pursuit of justice will take her to the brink. The line between hunter and hunted will blur, and that the heart of Night City holds secrets that may never see the light of day. And that's where we start our story. The date itself is October 19th at midnight when she arrives in Night City. So, October 20th. It's been a fairly long journey. The murders started in San Francisco, moved to LA, and now on to Night City. And although it's a sensory experience marked by the ever present neon glow and distant rhythmic hum of the city's relentless nightlife, it's a turbulent mixture of the dark cases that she's left behind and the anticipation of new challenges that lie ahead. Amid the neon lit streets and bursting cityscapes, a familiar name from her past resurfaces. She remembered that she had an old friend in Night City. Going through the police logs, she's able to find out the number and decides that she's going to bring her in with being the only sense of journalism in the city that she knows of. Maybe she has some connections. Now, while the clockwork continues its relentless motion, the Halloween spirit remains subdued during this time. October 23rd, about 7 a.m., Nixie, your phone rings. The number that's on the phone isn't logged in, so you definitely haven't talked to this person. And the area code is that of San Francisco.
Hello?
Nixie, hey, it's Maria from you know, we went to school together. We, hung out as kids. Do you remember me at all?
Oh my God, how have you been? What are you up
It's
to?
um normally I would like to, reach out under different circumstances, but honestly,
Yeah.
life, uh my job, I'm a detective, and I know that you were pursuing journalism. Whatever came of that?
Oh, I'm still just kind of writing some fluff pieces just to get me by, waiting on my big break. Um, you never know when, you're going to make it. It's just kind of the luck of the draw. So you're a detective?
Yeah, started out on the lowest end of the totem pole over in San Francisco and slowly worked my way up. And I've kind of been, I don't want to say traveling for leisure because it's all work, but I actually just came in from LA and there's a case that I'm following. So, we're in Night City right now.
Oh, you should come by the apartment and when we can have some coffee and maybe lounge on the rooftop for a bit and
Um,
talk and
Well, is there any other place? Is there like a cafe or anything that's close to the precinct? I haven't really gotten a chance to tour the city yet.
There is a small little shop. It's a cat cafe. We could go there.
Let me get established here for a few days, and can we do it on the 25th?
Uh, yeah, I'm free.
Okay. Save my number, and I'll call you whenever I get my boots on the ground and I'm able to take in what the city holds, because I need to get out there and kind of walk the beat and see what this is all about.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so why don't you just give me a ring when you're ready and I will be waiting.
All right, sounds good. She hangs up the phone and goes about the rest of her day attempting to figure out what Night City is all about. McFly, you, as you normally do, are browsing in the deep web. As normal, looking for any interesting information or potential leads that would bring you money. As you navigate the shadowy corners of the net, you stumble upon a obscure online conspiracy theory forum. In this forum, there's a post that catches your attention. It claims to have inside information about a series of murders marked as the Revenant. The post seems to be accompanied by gruesome crime scene photos and cryptic messages that seem to mock or mimic killers from the 80s. Um, Skeptical at first, your curiosity gets the better of you, and you decide to dig deeper.
Okay.
Let's see. The information that you come across. Um, there is a cryptic audio recording that so far no one has been able to crack. There's a lot of distorted voices in this audio clip. Is And upon examination, you see that there's a multitude of information that seems to go from San Francisco into LA. And the oddest part about this is, being a net runner and being on the web, you take and you find any of the news related articles, whether it's anything from murders to hearsay, and this has not hit any of the news channels that you dive for information in.
Hmm.
Um, would decrypting this message be something that McFly would do?
Yes, yes, it would be.
Let's see. Let's see what we got as far as a skill goes. Let's roll I guess let's go with library search, because I don't see anything else that might work with this.
So that's 35.
That is a 35. So, in probably 15 minutes after setting up, you're able to crack this code. After the audio recordings get filtered out and there's no more distorted voices, there's no background music, in clarity, you hear from the shadows, they rise again. In shadows cast, where they remain. Jack's blade and Gacy's clown. Their echoes haunt this dark town. Zodiac's cryptic lettered spree, a strangler's grip, so slightly. In Night Stalker's footsteps we tread, where terror thrives and blood is shed. Roll. Give me a roll on deduction.
I think that's under social
Education.
education. Oh, yep. Here. 12.
It's not bad. The post of this specific audio log was October 24th, today's date. Almost as if it's something that is put out there that's meant to be found.
Mm.
The name on this that posted is Grim Echo. There are several other postings from different names, all with a eerie course to them, from Sinister Enigma, Whispered Nightmares, Echoes of Horror, Cryptic Menace, all seemingly unsolved. You recognize the different names: Jack, Gacy, Zodiac, Strangler, Night Stalker. They're all historical serial killers. Jack the Ripper, John Wayne Gacy, the Zodiac Killer, the Boston Strangler, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. It's almost as if a story is waiting to be told. Do you dig further into this forum?
Yeah, I am. And I keep looking.
Give me another library search.
23.
You find what seems to be coordinates. You find different symbolic graffiti. You find ciphered texts. You find online riddles. You even find hidden chat rooms amongst everything. Curiosity getting the better of you. You spend what seems like an eternity on these sites. For the hidden coordinates that you seem to find, they've marked locations throughout San Francisco and LA. 5 points in each city. for the graffiti by analyzing the different hidden symbols. All of these still come back to specific serial killers. The ones in San Francisco that you can put your finger on are the BTK killer, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, and Ed Gein. The last one, there really is no murderer, but it's a missing persons. And as you continue your search, you find a note that says, "From the city by the bay to the city of angels, I journey. Seek me where the stars align," which sounds oddly as if that's Los Angeles. The more that you dig into LA, you find a murder that is reminiscent to the Black Dahlia, to John Wayne Gacy, to the Green River Killer, and on to Richard Ramirez, along with a note later on that says, "Amidst the neon shadows I emerge anew. The streets shall run red with the ink of my legacy. Prepare, Night City, for I am reborn." Just like the information found in San Francisco, there are 4 murders, and then there's a 5th marking. That 5th marking isn't represented by any murderer throughout history, but yet again, another missing person. This site consumes you into almost a full-fledged zoning experience. It's October 24th whenever you started. By the time that you're finished, it's now October 26th. We're gonna break from that, go back to Nixie. Nixie, it's the 25th, and you get a text from Maria that says that she found the cafe that you spoke of. She wants to meet up for coffee at about 2 o'clock is when she'll first be free.
Okay.
What are you going to do in the meantime? Is there anything that you need to take
What
care of?
what time is it now?
I'd probably say that it's noon, so you got a couple of hours.
Um, I am just gonna get ready.
Okay.
Um, make sure I look my best to meet an old friend. To make it look like I'm doing well for myself.
Basically, getting ready and heading to the place so you're there on time.
Correct. I want to get there maybe 10 minutes early.
Okay. Even though that it's daytime, the city itself still has a darkness about it. The offbeat ambiance of Night City is pungent as you walk to the cafe. The night is It's something in the air. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something seems off about the city. It could be that it's quiet in this area right now, but you're not used to anything other than the loud noises of music, cars. It's a bustling city, but this cafe is oddly silent when you arrive. But sitting outside is Maria. It's been quite some time since you've seen one another. The way that she looks, she's probably early 40s as of right now. She's tall, lean woman with a commanding presence. Short dark hair. Her attire is that of a tailored pantsuit that gives off the view of comfortable yet professional. Everything about her exudes detective. She stands up and waves at you as you walk down this alleyway.
I smile back at her and wave and walk towards her and say, "Wow, you've changed a lot."
A lot has changed on my end. It's been a wild ride on this path. And I mean, you
I
look
guess
like you
the
could be.
partiness is out.
Say that again.
The party girl that I once knew is no longer present.
Um, the late nights have been still there, but instead of booze and running around, it's actually no, that's still there, but it's usually because of the cases that I'm on. Um,
Mm.
so you said that you're writing fluff pieces, but
Yeah, like, fashion and the happenings of Night City. Nothing really that I want to do, but you got to pay the bills somehow.
yeah, because I know that you wanted to go into journalism on the side of, I guess, news anchor or
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's a man's world, so,
Well,
they have a
it's
bigger cock than I do.
well, I mean, there are modifications that you can get for that, but um, so you're really the only person that I know in Night City that I have any past with. Um, and with you being in journalism, I'm just hoping that maybe you can assist or even give me an idea of some
Oh my God, I
things.
would love to. This would be like my big break that I've been waiting for.
It's a little bit more of a somber occasion. So as excited as you can be, um, so this started uh, a few months ago in San Francisco. Um, we
Okay.
had a series of murders that are mimicking the style of killers from the 1980s. Um,
Wow.
there were four in San Francisco, and there was also a missing person. And we kind of kept everything under wraps there, with press and the media, in hopes to easily catch this person. But then they appeared in LA, so I transferred to LAPD. Um, we've done really everything that we can on trying to be preemptive. Um, we put up curfews. We've tried to do everything we can without drawing attention to this person, because all of the precincts did not want a riot on their hands. LA and San Francisco's way different than Night City. Although they've embraced technology and they're not as advanced in or accepting in that way, especially after the corporate war. Everybody's pretty much walled up there, so the ease of access is different, and I believe through my findings, the only logical place for him to strike next is here in Night City.
Well, what do you have so far? What
Well-
leads? What clues? What evidence?
Well, as far as what's brought him here, or
Like any murder weapons found, traces of DNA.
there's been plenty of different styles. So in San Francisco, there was a murder that we dubbed as the Enigma. We found that each of the victims had letters that detailed their impending doom. No DNA found on anything other than the victims. Victim 1 was strangled in his home. There were different cryptic messages that was left there. The second one emulated that of Jeffrey Dahmer. He was dismembered in his apartment. There was the Ted Bundy one. That was Linda Collins, I believe. Their bodies were found in remote locations around San Francisco. There's no real MO except for the fact that he is copying killers.
So out of character, as she's telling Nixie all this, Nixie's like writing it down.
Okay.
As well as recording, but
Gotcha.
not letting her know she's recording.
She tells you that the last thing that they found was a note that hinted at them being in Los Angeles, as well as that there was a fifth missing person that they never found, that the police are still working on as of right now. LA, there were the Black Dahlia style, the John Wayne Gacy style, the Green River killer, and lastly was the Night Stalker. Whereas it was still marked same MO as San Francisco, 5 disappearances, 4 murders, cryptic messages, and lastly was the note that said, "Amidst the neon shadows, I emerge anew. The streets shall run red with the ink of my legacy. Prepare, Night City, for I am reborn." And there's still a missing person in LA that seems to baffle the LAPD.
Do you know the names of the missing people?
I do.
Can you tell them to me?
LA was Lucas Mitchell and Mitchell. And the one from San Francisco was Amanda Foster.
Hayes. And you have no leads right now, like no suspects at all.
There's no, even scrolling through the database for San Francisco, for LA, for here, and doing. There's no one that has any ties to anything like this. Even
Okay.
some of the gruesome
Um,
murders, there's no one that fits this MO. There's no fingerprints that's been left. There's
did he
no
take any trophies?
there's not been anything that where there's no trail that we can
Okay.
follow except for what he's given us.
Okay. I have a crazy idea.
Okay.
What if we release a few details and then one that's a lie to anger him or her and draw them out?
Um,
Like, what if we provoke them?
I mean, it could work, but I got to sit down with the precinct, and kind of discuss this. Maybe.
I think there's a detective. There is. One of my housemates is a detective. I wonder if you could talk it over with him.
Well, that's with him being another detective. It's something that we would have. Actually, I think I read on the the log that he's out of work and he comes back tomorrow. Um, why don't you meet me tomorrow at the precinct, and let's I'll vouch for you because other than the rest of the department, you're really the only person that knows, and I feel like you've been here for quite some time. You should know kind of the ins and outs along with, the other detectives, but it seems like no one wants to work this case. Um,
Well, I'm going to forewarn you. He's an arrogant prick.
most of us are.
Yeah, but he's a dude too, so
Yeah, but I also know you. I think after a few days of hanging out with me doing this, you may understand why he's the way that he is. It's a Being a detective in a precinct is a completely different experience. Um, so why don't you meet me at the precinct tomorrow, and then we can, I guess, go forward with this idea um, of drawing the revenant out of the shadows and see if that works.
sounds like a plan. Hey, while we're here, do you want to go to the back and get some cybernetics with me? Like
Um,
maybe a commemorative light tattoo or something?
um, let's give it a few days. I actually, you know, have a few mods, but no. And
It'll be my treat.
she kind of looks you over and sees that you have embraced that in which you work in, which is fashion. She looks over and she sees the light tattoos, the hair mods, the skin mods, everything's there, and she just kind of shakes her head a little bit. Let's wait and let's see how everything turns out because it's a different type of moment. But I promise you, before I leave Night City, we'll commemorate it somehow.
It sounds like a plan.
She stands up, finishes her coffee, and she says, "Tomorrow, be at the precinct at 7 a.m. and I'll set up a meeting."
All right.
All
Well,
right.
it's good seeing you again. We'll have to talk more when there's less ominous things at the helm.
Yeah, and for now, just keep this between you and me. I don't need it getting out anywhere.
That's not an issue.
Okay. She stands up and departs.
and I will get in my car and go back to my apartment.
Okay. We're going to skip ahead. It is now the next day, October 26th, which is where we left McFly, where we're leaving Nixie, and where we're starting up with Max. Max, you have been off work for the past few days. The new arrival is not hit your radar as of yet. For this morning, your first day back in a few days, how are you going about that?
Laying down on the couch, smoking, thinking about the life I used to have.
What's that life look like?
It was nice. It was with a loving wife who actually cared for me.
So all in all, good times.
Great times.
And this is something
Uh,
that you seem to dream of often.
all the time. Reminiscing on it. Knowing that I can't achieve what I used to have.
Is it
I'm
because
just,
of the death and you feel like that Max can't move on? Or is it that Max is in that mentality of he achieved everything in life, and whenever it was ripped from him, there's no way to rebuild?
like, she was ripped from me, and that he was the only person for me.
So
Just
soulmate
reflect,
style.
yeah, just reflecting on the only purpose I really live for is vengeance. I know it's not a healthy mindset, but it's the only mindset that I know what that can keep me going.
Well, in your line of work, it's there's always some type of vengeance to seek, whether it's your own or whether it's for the people that are in the cases that you're used to solving.
I want to get up and look over the case files, papers that I had.
Is there any case in particular that you are looking over?
Just what local news media.
It seems like everything's on the up and up in Night City. Nothing really to report. The um, the body lottery, which I'm going to stop here and kind of give everybody a little information on the body lottery. Does anyone know what that is?
I do not.
Nixie, do you know what the body lotto is?
I do not.
McFly, what about you?
Yeah.
Do you know what the body lottery is?
Oh, sorry, I had unmuted to say yeah. No, that's what I was saying. Yeah, too.
Gotcha. So, for those that don't know, Night City releases on the news a body count report of the night before. This is confirmed deaths in Night City. Would a body lottery ticket be something that anyone would play in their character. Max, would you play the body lottery?
No.
Okay. Nixie?
I don't think she would.
Okay. And McFly, what about you?
Nah, but I got friends who do.
All right. Well, then it passes the mark of 19 deaths confirmed for the night before. It's a fairly normal amount. People die in Night City every night. It's not a stark contrast, but it is something that happens every day that Night City acknowledges. Other than that, no real news.
I'd like to continue. I would like to get dressed. Take swigs of alcohol for doing it.
Let's
Prepare the.
well, you know the deal. We're gonna roll
Yeah.
perception DV10. It's a good bottle if you pass it.
Okay.
It's a good bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, all you need is one perception, so you're good.
Okay.
So you pick it up, you know right away that it is not a cigarette bottle, that it is what you need to get your day started. Let's roll for resist drug and torture, and then we'll see how it affects you. DV of 10, you're good.
Okay.
Liver's probably not good, but we'll get into
No,
that
that's
later.
probably awful. Yeah. All right. So I want to put on my coat and equip my sidearm and put on equip Dirt Nap, Sweet Pea, and Elizabeth's Wrath. And I want to head to McFly's door.
Gotcha. McFly, you hear a knock upon your door, but you are still buried in the site of everything that you've found.
Yeah. Come in. I press the button to let whoever it is in.
Door opens. The smell is stagnant. There's no movement where you're at with your cigarette once that door
Oh,
closes.
kid, when is the last time you left this room?
Uh, what you need? Actually, come over here. Oh yeah, I got some stuff that you the feds, you like police, you like Dick Tracy or something, right? Come here.
Dick Tracy. Oh God, you and these old references. I want to walk toward him.
You notice it's it's a college bound room. It's something that you haven't seen for quite some time. Um, Clothing strewed in different places. The closer that you get to him, you can feel the difference in temperature go from a stagnant, hot room to the closer you get to the computers. The smoke from your cigarette seems to be pulled with airflow. That area is cooled, specifically at the electronic area, whether it's the computers, it could be the data nodes that are there. It's now an icebox in that area.
Kid, what do you want me to look at?
Hey, so I've been seeing some strange stuff about some murders, and not like the typical ones that we always see here. Not like the ones that you and the rest of the psychos in this building perpetrate. But like here, look at this. Bring up all the like messages and articles, and then I also play him the audio that I found.
So, um, as a out of story moment, I'll put an image of. So the first one's the items from San Francisco. The next bit is the items from LA.
Oh God, too much
Yeah,
reading.
yeah. Which I've pretty much kind of discussed everything. But if anyone wants to dive in further with it, you can. Um, as far as the audio recording that he plays, let me back up. He plays you the first bit, which is distorted voices in the audio recording that no one would have been able to really clarify unless they were good with enhancement software and things like that. He then plays you from the VBNet, from the past, they rise again, in Shadows Cast, where they remain. Jack's blade and Gacy's clown, their echoes haunt this dark town. Zodiac's cryptic lettered spree and Strangler's grip, so silently. In Night Stalker's footsteps we tread, where terror thrives and blood is shed.
So what do you think? Also, you should stop smoking. That shit'll kill you.
That's the plan, truth be told, kid. I think we got a murderer loose. Maybe.
Yeah, but I'm more surprised that all these news outlets aren't talking about it.
Maybe he's keeping a low profile.
This is kind of I don't know, kind of big for it to be low profile. Almost feels like somebody's purposefully making sure that the information isn't getting as far as it can.
Maybe I could call some buddies up in the station and see what's going on.
Maybe.
See if they're on the
Wish any of
radar with
these-
it, you know.
I wish any of these other fools in the building were actually any help. Like, is there anybody who like has any kind of connections to any people outside? Like, get information out. Like, if we want to like spread the word about something.
Why are you doing this to me? I know one fool. You remember that time he threw the crowbar at the man that was riding that
Oh, you're
motorcycle?
talking about the outlet lady?
The vomit lady, you know, the one with the breath stinky breath
Yeah,
lady. Yeah. Smells like smut. Yeah, that was that one.
she's weird. I thought the dumb girl who jumped out the car was like a problem, but hmm, uh,
Look, if we're gonna involve any of them in this, you're talking to them.
oh no, I'll talk to people. I really don't want to talk to her.
I'm not talking to her. That's not
You're the
happening.
police. It's like your job. You like go knock on people's doors and ask them like, "Have you seen this suspect?" Read them their Miranda rights, you shoot them because they move too fast, or because their skin doesn't exactly align with whatever you like.
One, kid, I'm not racist. Two, I'm only going to allow you and to guilt trip me on this. But if I go talk to her, you're coming with me.
That's fine. I guess I can.
Oh,
I
God, I
stand
was
up.
hoping you would just tell me no.
I stand up, completely naked again.
I want to turn my eyes away from him.
Guess I should get dressed. Walk
I'm,
over. I walk over and I literally just only put on a pair of basketball shorts and and some slides.
kid, you probably want to wear something more protective.
What is she gonna? Is she gonna touch me inappropriately?
With this dame, you never know.
Both of you roll perception, please. Beat ADV of a 10.
What perception under again?
Awareness.
Okay.
So the both of you notice on the camera system that McFly has set open that pretty much is around the entire building. The other cohabitational character that we have here, Nixie, is actually leaving the building as you two are speaking.
Kid, do you have her number? Because she's leaving.
I don't talk to her. I don't talk to her at all. Why would
I'll
I
tell you
talk
what.
to her?
You remember a while ago I gave you that black. It's got all the contact information on it.
Yeah.
See if you can give her a call.
McFly, with the way that your apartment is, would that be something that you kept on your desk, or would you have thrown it in the random piles that you have?
Most likely I would have thrown it in one of the random piles.
All right, so let's go with tracking under awareness to see if you can deduce the last place that it was. Our DV is going to be a 10 as well on
Oh,
this.
nah, this ain't gonna be it.
You
Oh man.
just barely, but you're able to eventually track this thing down. It's been wrinkled, but all in all, still intact. You thumb through the pages until you finally find the number to Nixie.
I guess I'll call her.
Good luck, kid.
Nixie, your phone rings. Do you pick it up or do you allow it go to voicemail?
I send it to voicemail.
Okay. What does your voicemail sound like?
Um, didn't think about that too much. Hey, it's Nixie. Leave a message. I'm busy.
So you are sent to voicemail. It wasn't just a couple of rings and then the phone picked up the voicemail. It was specifically sent to voicemail, probably because you're calling from an unknown number.
Makes sense.
Did she
Uh,
pick up?
I like look at him like shrugging with one arm while I'm holding the phone. I'm gonna leave a voicemail.
Okay.
Uh, I'm gonna leave a voicemail and
I'll tell you what. We can take this information to. There might be
that's
a
fine.
better option to go.
That's fine. I'm still gonna leave a voicemail though. I'm gonna be like,
Okay, go ahead. Do whatever
I'm
you
gonna
got to do, kid.
stinky puke lady. Oh my god, you know that the creepy guy with the fucking cape, the one who looks like a daywalker. He's like, I seen him. He like fucking snatched up a kid. I think it's like a story. You should like tell the people he's a fucking psycho. Like not just, when y'all are killing people, he's like even crazier now. And I just like hang up abruptly.
I have an out of character question. Do I hear them arguing back and forth on my voicemail that I'm
Nope.
going to leave a message? Okay.
That's not how
Kid,
cell phones work anymore.
Kid, what the hell was that?
I just like fucking with that lady. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
just like shrug when I put the phone up.
I don't blame you. Here, make sure you gear up, man.
All right, so I
I'm gonna
decide
walk out of his apartment.
while he's doing that, I get my regular set of stuff. I go ahead and like get a actual shirt or at least a t-shirt, and I'm gonna take like some more like jogging pants instead of the basketball shorts. Sneakers, but I'm gonna take full pack my full pack with me, and I'm also gonna make sure I have my mask, and I will take at least I'm pretty sure I got a light armor jack,
Yes.
and I'm gonna take the light armor jack.
Gotcha. So that all sets with the helmet and the light armor jack, they are both 11 on your um, SP, which should be already on your character sheet.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I see the light.
unless you equipped different armor, it should just be the same.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, shit. We forgot to put the helmet's actual armor stats up there, but um, that's fine. I
Yeah,
could
just run it the same as the um,
light armor jack.
yeah, until we do upgrades and all that good shit.
Oh, okay. And after that, I go ahead and put my shit on security mode again before I leave.
You both are now in the corridors of the apartment hallways.
I want to head to my apartment,
Okay.
grab a couple more things.
All right. What are you grabbing?
I want to grab the SDF. Wait, no, not the SDF because that's not there. The Nomad air cannon.
Okay.
And a couple of rounds.
All right.
Let me tell you the specific. Uh, 5 acid. 5 acid rounds.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Right.
All right, kid, you ready to head out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. We taking your vehicle?
Nah, that's a one person thing.
Uh,
Whatever you're riding.
all right. Looks like we're taking Blade Runner.
So Max's car is very reminiscent, even though that it runs on our New Day fuel of Chew, it's still very reminiscent of your old school muscle car.
See. Should I roll?
What are you guys doing? Because you're just heading to the car. Are you guys getting in and leaving?
We're headed to. Hey, did you need to stop anywhere?
Nah.
Okay. We're headed to the police precinct.
Okay. So let's roll drive land vehicle with a DV of a 10.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, man.
It was a control. Boom. Oh, thank God.
Car starts
Oh.
up, and you're able to head out to the precinct. Nixie, you're pulling into the precinct. Outside, you see the detective standing out there waiting on you. It's about 6:45, but knowing how you are, she expects you to be punctual, which is why she is out there waiting.
Um, I know we didn't really get to this, but on the way there, I picked her up a caramel vanilla latte,
Okay.
and so I hand that to her.
And also, since we didn't discuss, I am going to allow you to have your normal items in the vehicle because I needed you off
Yeah.
site.
You need what?
I needed your character off site. That's why I
Gotcha.
pushed you out the door, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, upon walking up to her with the coffee, she takes it, thanks you for it. You can see her eyes are a bit bloodshot, as if she still has not been to sleep. Um,
Long night.
um, very. She takes a sip. We have a meeting this morning, but we're waiting for one of their lead detectives to come into work um, because I don't want to step on anyone's toes as far as this is concerned.
Well, do you need a little pick me up?
Mm, the coffee?
Well, I also have energy drinks in the car if you need one.
Maybe later. I think I'm good for now with just with the coffee. Do you want to go ahead and go in and wait? Or
Um,
yeah, I don't know your
yeah,
routine.
yeah, I'll go in and wait. And I would like to see if I can locate where Max's desk is to sit at his desk.
Roll perception with new place DV of 12. You know which desk it is.
I'm going to sit at his desk and prop my feet upon his desk.
She kind of stops and looks at you and says, "You know that this isn't where the meeting's going to be. Um, it's actually going to be in the meeting room. So
Oh, well, that's no fun. Okay.
why would you just
No,
randomly sit at someone's desk?"
it's it's a thing. It never mind. And so I just get up and start walking to the conference room.
So as you walk through the precinct, you can see that there's a bit of anxiety amongst the officers there. Um, It seems that everyone has been made privy to the situation. And the potential murderer that Night City might have on its hand. In the office is just the two of you. She tells you that the director and the other agent will be here shortly, and that they're just going to hang out for now. Max, you and McFly slowly make your way to the precinct. Whereas when you pull in, you see a car that you noticed that's not normally there. It's the one that Grant drove off in probably a few weeks ago, whenever you guys had that last mission. And you recognize that as Nixie's vehicle.
Hey, kid, take a look over there. Tell me, what do you see?
A bunch of shit cars, some weird looking people. Whatever the fuck that thing is flying over there. Have you ever noticed there's never any birds out here? What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Probably the pollution in the air. Here, let's go. I want to get out of the car and start heading.
And I follow behind him.
This return to the local precinct in Night City marks a pivotal moment. Upon your arrival, you're met with a startling contrast to the order and routine that you left behind. The precinct is now a hotbed of what looks like to be turmoil and anxiety. You can hear whispers, but nothing that catches your ear, nothing palatable. But it seems like news of a serial killer is spreading like wildfire amongst the law enforcement. The gravity of this situation hangs in the air, filling the precinct with hushed whispers and anxious rumors, along with nervous glances.
Hmm.
So the ambiance here is slightly different.
Would you say chaotic?
That would be a good way to explain it. Give me a perception DV12.
Okay.
Do I need to roll one too, or is it just for him?
You can roll one if you want,
Oh, sure. Why the fuck not?
I'm a -8.
Oh shit.
because it was a 0 rolled in at some point in time on that.
Oh, okay.
You said perception?
Yep.
Oh, well, the 0.
I'm perceiving.
So it goes unnoticed on Max's end, but it could be the perusing the dark web, the reason that you picked up on it so quickly. You can see that they're setting up all the information that they have. Some of the information is that in which you have found. Some of it looks uncracked at the moment. But you can see potential leads on a board that mimic some of the items that you found online.
Hmm. Out of context, you talking about my character or his character?
His character, you notice nothing. You just know that it is chaotic as fuck in there.
Okay.
I'm assuming they're probably gonna tell him all this stuff. I'm just gonna keep this like logged in my mind. The stuff that I see that they haven't cracked yet, does it look like It would be. Is it like in the? It's like in the middle of the police precinct. Like it's like on somebody's desk. Like
You can see that it's toward the back, um, kind of out of view of where any civilians would be. So not necessarily desk, but kind of pushed onto the wall, as if they have been up throughout the night, trying to kind of connect dots a little bit.
okay. Wow. I'm just gonna keep that as a mental note, and I'm gonna keep following him. You know, my drunk police uncle.
Yeah, the drunkle.
Yeah,
Um,
drunkle Max.
you have been intercepted by the operations director, your captain. Um, he pulls you aside and he says, "Listen, a lot of shit has happened. We got a meeting with another detective that transferred, that's on this case, but with it being you're one of our top leads, I don't want to go too far into things and step on your toes. So I got her in the meeting room right now. She's with one of her friends, um, that I guess she's helping her tour Night City. This is her first time here, so let's be cordial, um, detective to detective. Let's give respect where respect is due. Um, but there's a lot of shit here, Max.
Well, I actually came in to talk about what this kid found on the internet.
Oh, who is this kid? What did he find?
String of murders or missing people.
Yeah, that that sounds like what we're all here for at the moment. So,
Uh,
kid, take all your information. Follow Max in. I'm gonna get the rest of these files, and I'll be in right behind you.
Okay, spazzy lady.
yes, sir.
You see him head off toward the back of the room, the board where you noticed everything, and he starts pulling down little bits and stuffing them in a case file. Upon y'all walking in, you're met with a familiar face of Nixie,
Oh no.
and you're also met with a new detective that you haven't seen before, that you just got a heads up about. Nixie and walk two familiar faces, that of the detective and the net runner that live in your building.
I kind
Before
of
before
hit
she speaks,
Maria's
Hold
leg and
on,
like,
hold,
that's
hold,
him.
hold on.
before before she speaks, when when I walk in with Max, I jump in front of him and hold my arms up, and I say, "Okay, okay, everybody, the real detectives have arrived. We're here to solve this case. We're on the job. We're gonna knock this shit out of the park. Book 'em, Dano, Maxo, tell 'em." And then I step back to the side.
I want to take a swig of my alcohol. It's in my pocket, please.
So you take your cig, Nixie. You just
No,
witnessed all this.
swig,
Yeah,
swig.
you just took your swig,
Okay.
Nixie. You just seen that transpire. The detective next to you is just, I guess, in awe of what just transpired.
And I tapped her leg and said, well, that's them.
Them. Who is them? You said that
The
you only
detective
knew.
I was talking to you about, and then his little sidekick.
They're almost like Batman and Robin right now. It's a bit unnerving, but She stands in her professional manner, reaches out her hand, introduces herself as Detective Delaney from San Francisco.
I'm Max.
Well,
I don't want to. I don't want to shake her hand.
ah, okay. So it seems like everyone in Night City's like this.
I
So,
shake her hand for him. He's
uh,
weird. Don't worry.
and you are,
I'm just the greatest assistant chief operating detective junior person on the case. I'm gonna go over here though. All right.
He's the
um,
kid. Just
I'll
refer.
walk away. I'll walk away from her.
Just refer to him as the kid. That's what he is.
McFly, when's the last time that you showered?
Was it before I started hacking?
So it's been a couple days.
It's been like a day and a half,
Uh,
but don't forget, I've been sitting in an ice box. So hey,
Yeah,
look,
I mean, you know, it ain't
winter,
it.
winter fresh out here. Hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey, hey, hey. We can roll for a smell check, my guy.
so we ain't gonna do a smell check.
We can-
I'm just out here trying to figure it out.
hey,
So
hey, man, I'm just saying. By the way, do y'all got showers here? Y'all don't just be letting the prisoners just like be dirty, right? Like I'm sure
You
somebody
don't
got.
need to shower in your
My
apartment.
gosh. Like, excuse me, is there anybody that I can call about like harassment? There is this crazy like lady who just
Harassment. Wow.
who keep talking to me, and like it feel like the more that I try and get away from her, somehow she's just always finding me. I
I
always
never
feel like
speak to you.
somebody's watching me, and
Miss
I'm
Maria.
very concerned.
Miss Maria, what brings you to Night City?
so it started in San Francisco. We've been following this case from there. I actually just left LA a few days ago. Um, Came here, and it seems that I'm on the trail of a very elusive individual. Um, honestly, it may be multiple. None of the evidence adds up. Um, all of them are mimicked. There's
Mimic.
y- that of murderers from the 70s and 80s and so on. There's nothing that is localized to this person. It's as if their MO is that of mimicking um, previous um, previous killers, specifically high profile killers. Um,
Like which ones?
so there's been the BTK. Um, there's
BTK.
been there's been Dahmer. There's been Bundy. There's been Ed Gein. There's been the Green River. There's been Gacy. There's been the Black Dahlia. Um, and there's
Yeah.
been, you know, the Night Stalker. At
I
that
want to say
point, the captain walks in with a fairly large case file, and she kind of points to what he's bringing in. That's everything that we have, and you know, it's per each precinct. I don't like stepping on toes. So whenever I bring them the information, I don't know if you guys have been to San Francisco or LA, but the PD there, they like to keep things, I guess, out of the limelight, um, in a sense of not wanting the towns, and no disrespect, but they don't want it to look like Night City. I mean, you guys have a body count lottery, so it's a different bit of policing there as it is here, and I was talking with my friend here,
I want to
and
strike up a cigarette.
and she kind of looks at you like this is the wildest police department ever, frankly, because she's not used to it. And she has the idea, and I'm hoping you guys, including the chief here, has the same mindset as her because I haven't been allowed to release anything to the public. And since I do know her and she's essentially a journalist, maybe we can release some information and kind of get this out there because no one no one from San Francisco or LA even knew anything was going on.
Well, the thing is, Night City's a cesspool. I really don't blame any of the other police precincts. Their judgment on this city is right. The body count lottery and everything, it's a terrible thing, but it's just how it is here in Night City. I think that's a good plan to put that information out there. Maybe we can lure them into a trap and finally catch the killer that he's been escaping all the other precincts.
As
And
of right now,
who came up with that idea?
of releasing it to the public,
Yeah.
Yours truly.
well,
Uh,
I mean,
uh,
it's one of those where initially I had the idea, but no one would listen. And before I even got on the subject, it was actually um, Ella's idea.
Who the hell is Ella?
Nixie.
What she kind of looks back and forth like,
Nixie.
what do you what, what do you mean,
Her,
Nixie?
your
I
your
haven't
name
went by that name in 30 years.
I'll
your
lean
name
over.
is Ella?
I'll lean over. I'll lean
No.
over. I'll lean over and whisper in Max's ear. This lady got like 12 names.
Probably a streetwalker. That's what they do.
I shrug.
I
And
have never been a streetwalker.
I would also like to point out, as I'm walking around, just taking in the police station, and I asked them, I'm like, so Miss Nickelback, Eli Manning, so you came up with this plan to provoke him. So yeah, sure, you can provoke him and get him to come out, but what are you gonna do to prevent him from actually executing another crime for you to track him from? Because
Good
you're just
question.
gonna provoke him to put somebody else's life in danger? Is that,
That's
you know,
the police's job, not mine.
So what you're
Tell you
saying is
what,
that you don't care about ethics. Aren't you supposed to be like a journalist? No,
And what are you
you're
supposed
like
to
a
be?
fashion blogger. That's right. You don't actually
And what
have any journalistic credit.
and what do? You hack systems? Is that legal?
I perform system maintenance for old people. That's
okay,
what I do.
The
I
okay,
don't
chief
know what
enough.
you're
sits
talking
down
about.
and he pulls out
When's the last time
uh
you showered?
I
he
don't
pulls
know. Would you
out
like to sniff me?
a metal canister from his pocket, pulls out a cigar, starts clipping the end, and lights it up, and he's like, takes him a drag off of it. Listen, all of this arguing, I don't know either one of you. You are here by the grace of these two detectives. So, while in my precinct, let's chill the fuck out a little bit. You talk a lot. Like, it's very reminiscent of a user of synth coke. I'm gonna turn a blind eye to this kid, but calm down. As for you, you just sit over there with the detective, both of you, and let's see where this goes. I can agree releasing this to the public's a good idea. But we also need to think, how is this going to transform our city? She's the only person not from here. How is this going to transform our city? Is this
Honestly,
gonna I mean, are they gonna run rampant in the streets? Are they gonna just turn a blind eye like what they do to most crimes? I mean, we get missing person cases in here almost every day. We find bodies throughout the day, throughout the night. So it's whatever's put out is gonna have to be gripping. So since you are a journalist, I'm assuming you'll be able to put together something that will grip an audience.
Let me ask you.
Out of
Um,
character, who is it? Is this like the police chief?
Yeah, it's the chief.
Oh, okay.
did you mention anything about there being messages left, or was that just a figment of my imagination?
As far as the information that she gave you,
No, I'm asking the chief this.
I haven't said anything about anything. I just came in here and y'all are arguing. I haven't told y'all anything about the case.
Well, I was thinking we could offer a reward to incentivize the public to be on the lookout, in addition to provoking the killer to come out.
So you're wanting to put out a tattletale program?
I mean, she is a snitch, commish. I mean, chief.
I
Chief
am not
Williams,
who have I snitched on ever? Ever.
the electrician. I say as I walk away again.
What? I think he needs therapy for his hallucinations and imaginative dissonance. It's mind-boggling. Um. Anyway, not necessarily like a tattletale program, but just offer the people, like, I don't know, a free limb or something.
You do realize
she
the
said it
way
free.
the way that we make our money is very few and far between. As far as just giving people upgrades to their cybernetics, do you realize how many people, because we know nothing. We know nothing. Do you realize the follow up? All they would have to say is, yeah, there's a body in this area. Could it be a part
No,
of the
it would have
case?
to be, no. See, I don't think you know how rewards work. It would have to lead to the arrest of and capture of. Then you give the reward. You can't just have people saying, "Oh, I found a body," and they get a free finger.
Chief,
Um,
I think she said you're stupid and you don't know how things work. That's kind of disrespectful. I think
shut
she
your mouth
disrespecting
for
you.
2 seconds. Jesus Christ.
I'll walk away again before she finishes.
Oh gosh. Maybe offer them like a free night of like a get out of free jail card for misdemeanor or something. I don't know, since you have such a low budget.
Look, I'll think about it. But for the time being, let's just continue to spitball ideas. In the precinct, you can hear the patters of rain on the ceilings as it begins to go from a light drizzle to a very heavy rain. An
I want.
eerie ambiance has fallen over the city streets. with the clouds coming in, the precinct itself has become dimly lit and relatively quiet with all of the patters of the heavy rain. Several officers and several detectives still bustling around. The relentless rain beats against the windows of the precinct. It's something that hasn't happened in quite some time in Night City with the violence of this storm. Max, what are you wanting to do?
I'm wanting to investigate the files that were brought in.
What are we looking for specifically? Are we starting at a specific time?
Uh, Out of context, you said there was a person missing.
Yes, in each location. There was technically 5 missing persons that have been um, in San Francisco.
Mhm.
There's been 5 in LA. 4 out of each of those 5 have been murders. The 5th missing person has not been found as of yet.
Okay. I want to see if there are any similarities, any of the missing or dead people.
As far as connecting them
Yeah,
with,
connecting the victims to each other.
um, the only real connection between them are the brutality of the murders. Um, in San Francisco, there were letters that detailed their impending doom found in the home, and he was strangled. The second one, based on Dahmer, um, they were dismembered and put around the apartment and sort of to look like trophies. And Polaroids were found of the entire act. For the third one, where they were abducted from leaving a club, and their bodies were discovered in a remote location in San Francisco. There were bite marks and cryptic notes that would taunt the police. And the last one, that was based off of the Ed Gein murders, um, there were grotesque scenes. The bodies were mutilated and adorned with human flesh, where they have, I guess, cut off different parts of the body, flesh wise, and adorned them as if wearing armor or crown or something along that side. Um, Gruesome artistry in the way that they did it, along with more cryptic messages that hinted at a next location. The only thing that tied them is each of the bodies in the notes came together to make a message that said, "From the city by the bay to the city of angels, I journey. Seek me where the stars align," which hinted to being in Hollywood in LA. Um, in the LA murders, the first murder there was that of an actress. She was found in an alleyway. It was a bisected body. Her mouth was cut from ear to ear, creating what is known as a Glasgow smile. The scene was staged to shock and horrify. The body was posed in a macabre fashion, reminiscent of the Black Dahlia. The killer left no fingerprints. The only clue that was left behind was a bit of a message that said, "Within this big evil city." The second in LA was based off of the infamous killer clown, John Wayne Gacy. And they were found in a home, hidden within a room that was of a ordinary residence, one that you would never think anything could happen. Um, they look like that they were tortured before they were murdered, and they eventually found, yet again, no fingerprints, but only another part that led into the message: "I shall become the night shadow. Beware." The third murder in LA was that reminiscent of the Green River Killer. Um, they were found strangled and dumped in remote wooded areas. Um, their bodies placed around in eerie patterns, that of almost ritualistic displays. Um, very grotesque. Um, the bridgeway where the body was found um, is a select kind of a remote wooded area um, near a river. The bodies were posed, like I said, legs spread apart. Um, in the Green River Killer, that is one of the known things that they would do, is place them in provocative or degrading poses. Um, and another bit of the letter said, "For darkness embraces all." No fingerprints on that. And the last victim found of the 4 murders and 5 kidnappings was that based off of the Night Stalker Richard Ramirez. It was a home invasion. There were satanic symbols and messages in the victim home. No messages that connected anything. Um, he was known as being the type of individual, as far as Ramirez was. He had a look about him that girls went wild for at the time. Um, and the note that was left there was, "Amidst the neon shadows, I will emerge anew. The streets shall run red with the ink of my legacy. Prepare, Night City, for I am reborn." And then we also had the 5th victim of kidnapping that has not been found. And that is, other than the miscellaneous, some coordinates, some are, graffiti that they found in different places. The random graffiti could be anywhere, such as we had one that was an actress, so it was graffiti of a play that she was in. Um, Different things like that have been found, throughout the time, but nothing linked anything together until the murders happened.
Mm. I want to look for some information on the last missing person.
All right. Roll library search. And
Okay.
let's see what you can come up with. Let's see. So the information in the file that you find is that of Lucas Mitchell, 32-year-old software engineer who mysteriously disappeared from his apartment in downtown LA. He was known for his reclusive nature and passion of cybernetic enhancements, often frequenting underground augmentation clinics and forums. Lucas had no apparent enemies, and the sudden vanishing left all of his friends and family baffled. There is no obvious link between the disappearance and the other serial killer cases.
I want to call Maria to wherever I am.
I would say that you're probably still in the meeting room with
Okay.
everybody. So
Okay.
she walks over to you.
Miss Maria,
Yes.
why do you think he has this infatuation? He or she had this infatuation, changing their almost persona of killing people.
It really the only thing that differs that kind of makes it their own is the last one. The fifth person is always a lot like there's no killing.
You're
There's
talking about
no
a
there's no
Mr.
brutal
Lucas Mitchell, right?
yeah, so that was Mitchell was LA.
Okay.
And then Amanda Foster was the one from San Francisco. And yet again, no ties to anything, but that seems to be the MO is we replicate, we replicate, we replicate, we replicate, and then whenever it finally gets to the fifth person,
They go missing.
it's almost as if they they never existed. There's
Hmm.
nothing. Um, the only thing that we have is that of a missing persons that has been brought in, and you know it's it's kind of unnerving because there is no connection. It's almost as if the only reason we've gotten as far as we've gotten is because it's information that they have left us.
Hmm.
I would say that as of right now, story wise, it's it's probably about 3 or 4 o'clock now, and everyone's been looking over information, including McFly and including Nixie. Is there anything that you guys would like to add to this part at all?
Oh, I was gonna let her go first. No. Oh, so all right. You might be doing a line right now. So I was gonna see if I could look up some more information about the guy, but I think he already did. I wanted to know if I could actually look in look up search about each of the copied murders, like each of the originals that they're copying,
Yeah.
see how they all like you know how like people always keep a list of like the most famous like murderers in history, right?
Hmm.
I wanted to like look at all the murders that have happened and then look at the most famous ones and see which ones haven't been copied yet,
All right.
and see like if I could see what kind of pattern of what whoever it is might be trying to go for next.
Let's roll library search with a 12 DV.
22.
You know that even through all of the searching, there are still a lot of famous murderers out there, or you've got Charles Manson, you've got Jack the Ripper, you have, um, I believe, Son of Sam, you have the Zodiac Killer, you have the Boston Strangler, you also have the different bombings. So you have,
Is there any way I can narrow it down to ones that are more geared towards the western side of America, or at least North America?
that most of, um, as far as those killings, Jack the Ripper was really the only one that was out of the United States. Um, but that also doesn't really, I guess, hold too much weight, um, because it's still, high on the radar, but there are a lot of North American killings. There are even some that are out of the states that mimic the work done by other serial killers, but not in as a brutal way. So, like, I believe that there is one that is based on Dahmer, as well as um, Richard Ramirez that happened, elsewhere. But there's a multitude of killers that come up in your library search.
Uh, okay, okay, I'll leave it at that for now.
So yeah, you see there are plenty out there that still haven't been touched upon, but very well could be, the next string of murders. So, there's a lot of plausibility that it could be any one of it, from, even something as far fetched as, there being a bombing. There's plenty of those that have done mass killings via bombings. Um, you've even got information of the Columbine shooters. There's anything and everything that has been had media attention kind of pops up on that radar for you.
I want to ask Miss Maria about Amanda Foster.
Let's see. Pull up Foster real quick. Right. On where I'll put everything.
Shit, I forgot to mute.
Let's see. Amanda Foster she worked in theater. The last time that people seen her was after a play. Um, she was a bit of a loner with being a theater kid. She did different volunteer nights the at hospice and things like that. All around, a seemingly good-hearted individual. Nixie, in the times that has passed, what have you been doing?
I have been preparing a live broadcast to announce the arrival of our serial killer to Night City.
And for this live broadcast, what format are we on? Are we on your fashion blog? Since we don't really have a news network.
It will be on my social media, whatever Night City has of social media,
Okay.
whether it's Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, whatever the equivalent of that would be.
Give me a roll of a 1d6, and we'll see how many platforms that you can get on out of 6 different ones. It seems like 5 out of 6 of the platforms. Let's say you have Twatter, you have Instagram, you have Flakebook, and you have let's go with the Tube.
Okay.
Those are your platforms.
Okay.
So what does your broadcast look like, and have you went over it with any of the detectives or the police chief?
I have not. I'm going to consult with Maria before I go live.
Okay. What does this consultation consist of?
So, Maria, I was thinking of putting the killer's Night City poem in my broadcast.
hmm
Is there any specific evidence you would prefer me to put in or leave out?
Definitely leave out as the gory details. You can reference what happened in San Francisco and LA, but I wouldn't put out how each of them were murdered. You can reference the style, but I wouldn't want the world knowing how brutal each of them were. I would probably just put in the fact
The
that
world
it
already
was.
knows about the brutalities, though, you know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. If they know of those names, then they will know how brutal it is. But you got to think, like, you don't know if there's kids listening. You as dominant as Night City is, you know, um, you don't want to corrupt the innocent to some of the things that actually Night City holds.
Okay.
So, do you want to put it out at about the same time that the news would come on?
Yeah. Prime time.
Okay. So she looks at her watch, and it's about 9 o'clock. So it's about the time that the nightly news would be coming on. Um, so she tells you you could probably put it out, in a few moments because it'll be around 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So when 9 o'clock arrives, what what does our broadcast look like?
I'm actually going to read it. I'm writing it really quickly right now. Can you send me the Night City poem in a message so I can actually read it verbatim?
Yes. find where I put it. Max, in the meantime, what are you getting into?
I want to actually leave the conference room and head to my desk. See if I can dig up some information. Detective Maria.
Gotcha. There you go. All right. So, what are we looking for specifically?
Um, her anything as far as her career wise, like career history, uh maybe her time spent in the academy.
Okay. Let's do library search DV of. I'm gonna do 10 because it's basic information that you would. So it seems like your password has been changed to your computer. Upon further recollection, you remembered that they did put out a massive text that said when you come back, you would actually have to go to IT and
Oh,
have them reset your password. Golly, man,
okay.
if it got any worse than that, that computer might have had to explode. Jesus.
Ah,
So are you heading down to IT to get that set back
I
up?
am heading down to IT.
You see upon walking into the IT department, everyone is gleefully clicking away at their computer, making sure that any and all information that they are getting documented. You see copies of Maria's case file that is in the conference room. There's someone writing up the entire report um, of everything, and you have a young man walk up to you. Detective, are you here for the reset? I know I didn't see you this morning, but we put out that email last week. Did you did you forget about it?
Yep,
Nerd
sure
alert. I
did.
say as I walk away.
Um, all right, let's go. He goes to the computer and he sets up everything. All right, what do you want your new password to be?
I don't know if I want to tell you what my password's gonna be.
Well, I still have to. You can change it once you get into the system. I just need um, what you want it to be to actually
I,
access your system.
I'll tell you what. You you write down the password, put the password in, and I'll change it.
Um, okay. Let's do.
Also,
Huh?
this Maria file.
The one that's on his desk.
Yeah,
What
I'm
about it?
interested in that.
I mean, what do, what do you need from it? Because these are just copies of everything in the case file that the chief has.
Okay. Then I should have copies of that as well, right?
I mean, if you've made copies, but I
I'm
don't know
talking specifically those copies. I want to intimidate them.
what are you trying to get at. So we're gonna roll for I guess a face down, which let
Is there
me
not intimidation? Wait,
well
it's
it
not.
all depends on what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to confiscate those copies of those files. The copies of those files.
So as far as using your intimidation,
Or
um,
threaten. Is it threaten?
is that um I mean, essentially, is that what you're trying to do?
Well, essentially, I'm trying to intimidate. Social. I guess it's persuasion, maybe.
You can try to persuade him, yes.
Okay.
But like a face down is one of those that's more, don't you know who I am type deals. Uh,
Nah, I don't want. I don't want to. I don't want to face down. Let me persuade him. Let me persuade him. I just want to take a look at those files. Maybe keep them. Maybe.
so if you're gonna use, okay, so that will
I am
be,
rolling terribly.
yes, you are. Let's see who is somebody that is gonna be. We'll do random, and we need to do persuasion against probably perception.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, detective, the way that protocol works is you just ask for copies of the file. Why would you need our copies of the files?
I guess
It's
it looks like I don't. Truth be told. Can
I
you send
mean,
those copies to my desk whenever you get a chance?
I can actually have um one of the recorders that actually does that for the department. I can have
Mm.
them um actually just go and make you copies of everything. But do you want copies of the copy, or do you want a copy of the actual file that is upstairs?
The
That's where I'm confused.
the actual file that's upstairs.
Okay, I will send a message to them and have them get you all the information. Um, so yeah, here's your password. It's going to be MTZ123. That'll get you in the system. And then feel free to change your password from there. So, anything else that you need?
That's it.
All right. Well, you have a good, well, I would say good evening or something like that, but I mean, you've lost track of time. It's almost 9 o'clock.
It's kind of late. I'll see you later. I
Okay.
want to head upstairs. Back
Or
to or upstairs. I want to head back to my desk.
okay. There's your computer once more. You gonna put in the password?
Yes,
All right.
MTC 123.
The computer opens right up for you. And then a prompt comes up to change password as it has every month before.
I want to change the password. I want to change the password to. Let me change the password to 321 ZTM.
It pops up and it says password cannot be the same as last password.
321 ZTM.
Yep.
How about we do capital RAPUSTA? Rasputa.
I dead ass was just literally just thinking that.
It says password accepted.
Okay, so now I want to look, I guess, search through the database and look for his file.
Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to get into her file. If you bring up Roll20
Hmm?
in your journal, you are going to see Maria Delaney.
Let's see. That's small. That's me. Maria. Got it.
Okay. Once you
Sorry, looks like the expo. Hold on, wait. Let me reload. Let me log back into it because it said the link expired. Ah, okay, it signed me up. Oh my God, really? Hold on. I do know how to get to it though.
is anyone else having issues with Roll20 at the moment?
Yeah, I am having issues.
I
Because
don't
I
know. Like,
too.
what would the issues be?
Try to access the Maria file
Oh shit, where would that be?
in your journal.
Okay. Maria
Wow.
Delaney.
Yes.
Oh shit, yeah, no.
All right, so it seems like Roll20 is
Oh
down.
Jesus.
It says to exit and re-log in.
Yeah. Every time I try to log in, it's
All right, so
I'm gonna wait for y'all to relog again, see if it actually works.
no,
no.
it hasn't
I've been.
worked.
Yeah, they're down.
So that sucks. Um, so let me see if I can just get you the information via here. I just cannot click too far.
I won't be able to roll then for anything.
We're gonna have to break out them IRL dice.
So for the background and everything for Maria, you see that she's had a long time in law enforcement,
Mhm.
rising through the ranks due to her problem-solving abilities, which is why this case is hitting her harder than it should. She's seen her fair share of gruesome crime scenes. You see, as a child, there were traumatic events involving a violent crime that left her deep rooted desire to protect others from similar horrors. You see that she joined up at the PD at a young age, determined to make a difference. Over the years, she gained a reputation for being a sharp detective and having sharp investigation skills, as well as a willingness to go great lengths to solve any of the cases. Um, However, it seems it came at a personal cost. She somewhat became isolated from her family and friends, leading to strained relationships. Um, she was assigned to the Revenant case for her expertise in criminal psychology. Um, let's see. She had a partner on the force, Dr. Blackwood. He was a profiler for the police department, and she worked very close with him. It looks like he eventually committed suicide. He unalived himself. Sorry, Twitch. Um, she's been in therapy to figure out a way of circumventing what she believes that she has, which is a mental illness of being able to work homicide with no issues whenever, her partner of many years unalived himself. Um, let's see. Going into a little bit, you see Nixie's name pop up as, connections that um, from the school system. They were childhood friends, um, same neighborhood. Um, you see, as far as her team goes, 99.9% of the time, it is just her as of late. before her partner's unaliving. It was them on almost every case as profiler and detective. And she all around seems to have a deep commitment to justice and a desire to protect any of the citizens that she's working on. So, since it used to be San Francisco, then to LA, and now to Night City, um, you know, it seems like she's a detective that's on the up and up. Um, Under weaknesses, it says intense dedication to work sometimes leads to neglecting personal life and well being, which Max knows all too well. Um, it says no nonsense attitude can make difficult to establish personal relationships outside of work, which he also knows all too well. And high stress situations, she may become overly focused and neglect self care, which he also knows all too well about. Nixie, is about that time for the report.
All right. She activates her socials.
All right. You are now broadcasting live via 5 different platforms.
This is Nixie coming at you live from Night City. Has a killer arrived in Night City? From dismembered bodies to missing people spanning from San Francisco to Los Angeles. It is believed the killer, who the police dubbed as the Revenant, has a foreboding message for Night City. Amidst the neon shadows, I emerge anew. The streets shall run red with the ink of my legacy. Prepare, Night City, for I am reborn. Anyone with any leads or information is strongly encouraged to notify authorities. You may do so anonymously. Keep your head on a swivel, Night City. This is Nixie signing off.
Do you end your live broadcast?
I do.
Okay. So, some time passes in the precinct. It seems like everybody's doing their due diligence on everything. And it seems like everyone has embraced your suggestion about leading with information. So roll me three 3d10s. Oh, you can't. Never mind. So I can't do that.
I can
So
come upstairs real quick and grab some die.
yeah. Find 3.
Stop talking for a minute. What's the die? I think there's some in here. Yeah. You're on mute. I think he realizes he's on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear him.
All right. What dice are in that? Because
There's some tens in here. It's
all
the
right.
vampire dice.
Okay. So roll 3d10s. And we'll see how many people that you actually get to during this process.
3, 1, and 8.
All right. So within a few hours, I would say that it's It's closing in to midnight. And about 318 people across the platforms has seen your message so far. Now, it's been raining pretty much all day in Night City. And in an unexpected turn of events, a sudden influx of distressed individuals arrive at the precinct, each bearing a harrowing tale of a missing loved one.
Real quick, it's working again.
Okay. Initially fragmented and seemingly unrelated, these cases will later be unraveled as the first victims of the Night City murders. Among them is a journalist, adding to the further urgency of the investigation. Nixie happened to be in the right place at the right time. Detective Maria takes down the information of the missing journalist. Max continues with the others, logging the reports. The precinct in an uproar and a panic. It's a dark and stormy night on Night City. The rain pours heavily, casting eerie ambiance over the city's neon-lit streets. The precinct itself dimly lit and relatively quiet before the individuals bursted in. Several detectives and officers bustling around. The rain beats relentlessly on the windows. As the crowd settles down, silence descends upon the precinct's back entrance. Mysteriously, the security cameras of Night City's PD malfunction. The lights in the precinct momentarily flicker. In and out, what seems to be a shadow. With stealth and precision, a masked figure navigates through the darkened halls, remaining noiselessly and visually impaired to everyone else. Clenched in their hand is a small folded parchment of paper, bearing a cryptic message inside. The destination is that of a detective desk. He drops it on Zorganov's desk in the midst of the chaos of people reporting the missing persons. While the detective and the other officers are occupied, the intruder goes completely unnoticed. Swiftly and deliberately, the note is folded and put into a stack of paperwork on Mac's desk. An action that's executed so seamlessly that no one in the precinct glimpses at the mysterious visitor. Their task completed. They slip out of the precinct just as silently as they entered, vanishing into the rainy night. Miraculously, the security cameras regain full function after their departure. And that is where we will end this episode. We will catch you next time on our Halloween episode. Bye, everybody.
Hasta luego.